Championship Sunday here in Gulf Shores, made even more special as rivals go head-to-head for the ultimate prize on the beach. USC is here for the fourth time in the last 5 years, but this has been UCLA's game on this beach. They seek their third straight national championship. This moment, this feeling, this is what they've worked for, a shot at a title. Under 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go from the start of our first flight. The threes and the fives will start things off first as we play for a national championship. Once the threes and fives have finished their matches, then ones, twos, and fours will begin. Each match, the best 2 out of 3 sets. And remember, the first school to win on 3 courts wins the duel and wins the national championship. It's all about the players in this one, so let's meet the amazing women who you'll see on the sand today.
What's up, everyone? This is Tabby Simo here from UCLA Beach Volleyball, and I'm a 5th-year senior.
Hi, I'm Lexi Denneberg, and I'm a 2nd year here at UCLA.
And we're here to introduce the team. So Team 1 is Lexi and I, and we're Team Tank because we love getting after it in the weight room. Team 2 is Leah Monkhouse and Devin Newberry, and their Team Snarl because they'll give you the absolute biggest stank face on the court ever. Team 3 is Abby Van Winkle and Lindsay Sparks. They're Team Reunited because they played together the whole childhood, and they're back and better than ever.
Next up, we've got Jocelyn Quaid and Megan Murray. We call them Team Mom because they're the oldest on our team, and we also treat them like our mom. And after them, we've got Jane Whitmarsh and Riley Powers. We call them Team Scrap / Team Clutch because they run around on the court and get everything, and they also clinch a lot of duels for us.
Go Bruins, baby! Woo!
Hi, I'm Sammy Slater, a senior, and me and my partner Julia Scholes are USC's number 2 pair. We are Team Scream because we like to get loud on the court. At the top court, we have Tina Grodina and Megan Kraft. We like to call them the Twin Towers because Meg and Tina are the top blockers on the West Coast. On the threes court, we have Haley Hallgren and Haley Harward. We call them Team H-Bomb, not only because we each have double H names, but also because of the missiles they launch. Our fours pair are Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple. They are Team Sweet and Sour because Delaney brings the calm while Joy brings the fire. At the fives are Audrey Norse and Nicole Norse. They are Team Seeing Double because they are identical twins. Fight on.
About to see all those women on the sand. Christine Williamson will also be on the sand for us. And Christine, these 2 programs know each other well.
Yes, these are familiar foes, having matched up 5 times this season. Most recently, of course, at the Pac-12s, where UCLA did take the edge. USC head coach Dane Blanton, however, says that his team is peaking at the right time. On UCLA's side, their focus has been taking in the moment, really enjoying everything about this postseason tournament, and they're hoping that will carry them to a title.
Well, Christine, we saw these 2 programs meet not once but twice on Championship Sunday last weekend at the Pac-12 tournament, and in the championship duel, it came down to the fives.
And this was just 8 days ago. The fives pair of Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh upset the Norse twins of USC to win 3-2.
You've got to know that USC has that fresh in their minds. UCLA, that was their only 2 wins against USC this season. Look at the history of these 2 programs. 2 NCAA championships for each team. Dual wins are the same too, but head-to-head wins, it goes in UCLA's favor in this tournament. The threes and the fives will start first. Once they complete, we will see the ones, twos, and fours. You can see all courts streaming live on the ESPN app, but we're gonna start with the threes. Abby Van Winkle, Lindsay Sparks for UCLA taking on Haley Hallgren and Haley Harward of USC.
Behind. And right. Haley. Yeah.
And Holly, we saw it in the first duel of the day. The wind is going to be a huge factor.
The wind is higher than we've seen all weekend long, and both teams really need to factor that into their team strategy.
UCLA has experience today with the wind, but this is USC's first time playing today. And there's a point for USC, Abby Van Winkle at the net.
And there you see the height of the USC pass and the height of the set. In my opinion, a little too high in this wind.
Helps if you can get that set down low because the ball will carry. We've seen it so many times today. Lindsay Sparks pokes over the block. And USC with a scrappy point.
Haley Harward runs that ball down for USC. Really clean down the middle kill. We'll see if USC makes that adjustment. In the win, you want to keep it pretty low so the ball doesn't move on you when you're going in to attack it.
Haley Hallgren back to serve. Sparks. Oh, Harward got there, but just a little late.
Lindsay Sparks continues to use the entire court. We see all types of offense from her. Lots of pokies, but she uses the entire court. This has been such a consistent pair for UCLA of Sparks and Abby Van Winkle. 10-0 career record as a pair, but they've played together before even arriving at UCLA. They grew up on the junior circuit. They're best friends on and off the court and played lots of tournaments, spending their summers on the beach together.
Remember, we played to 21 points in the first 2 sets. You have to win by 2. Harward serving. Great layout by Harward.
Haley Harward is a dynamic defender. She played indoors at Long Beach State. She was a libero and then had to hit outside when their outside hitters were injured. She can get up and thump the ball and run down all sorts of balls for USC in the backcourt.
It's been a different experience for her at USC. It's really a beach focus only. The first time she's been solely focused on the outdoor game.
UCLA winning the side change. Sparks and Van Winkle grew up playing together. You see them in high school winning the Triple Crown, which is prestigious on the beaches of California.
Yeah, they were the first team to do that, winning the Best of the Beach, AAU Nationals, and AAU Junior Olympics. It's not often you have that much chemistry and connection with your partner before you get to college.
And then they get to go to college with one of their best friends and then get to compete on the biggest stage together.
They have not lost a match at this tournament yet. There's a big swing from Hallgren.
Haley Hallgren on the bad side, wind at her back, but she is aggressive when Abby Van Winkle leaves the net open for her.
Well, Dane Blanton, we spoke to him before this duel. He wanted them to be very physical in the wind.
Dane Blanton feels that his USC Beach Volleyball program is the most physical team in the country, and he wants them to use that.
There's Dane Blanton in his second season as the head coach at USC, taking over an outstanding program from Anna Collier. Of course, he's an Olympic gold medalist. It's much easier for the coaches in this championship duel because only 2 courts are playing right now as opposed to all 5 like we saw on Friday.
Yeah, Dane Blanton said that works to his advantage because he's allowed to coach. That's what he wants to do, so he can sit with the pair and finish a match out with them.
Harward, Sparks there to clean it up. Oh, and they're getting USC in the net. You can hear Abby Van Winkle saying, "It wasn't me."
Abby Van Winkle was turning to block that ball. This ball blocked tight, and then Haley Hallgren trying to poke it over before it hit Abby Van Winkle's block.
So net violation gives the point to UCLA. Grazes the tape. What an up by Harward, and they eventually turn it into a point.
Great side out. Haley Harward slides under that ball, lifts it for her partner, Haley Hallgren, who just terminates onto. This is not an easy play, but the lift of the pass from Haley Harward, perfect.
Hallgren and Harward had some work to do after their first 2 duels. They lost their last 2 duels, their matchup with FSU and LMU, but coming out strong here. Remember, 3s and 5s in action right now. You can see the 5 streaming live on the ESPN app. Van Winkle wins the battle at the net.
The advantage of being on the good side, the ball's gonna drift toward the net into the hands of Abby Van Winkle, who wins this battle at the net.
Is it an advantage that UCLA has played in this wind already today?
I think it is a little bit of an advantage. I know USC came out early trying to get a long warm-up, but a little bit of an advantage because they've already played in this wind and they know how to manage it.
I will say Sparks and Van Winkle came out even with the wind in their first duel of the day, and they looked solid. They were locked in. Good shot there from Hallgren.
Abby Van Winkle, the UCLA blocker, diving into the angle. Haley Hallgren recognizing that and going short line.
Harward does go line.
Haley Hallgren is so good when she waits on her approach. She's so quick. Sometimes she comes in early and doesn't make great hand contact on it. Look at that contact, great redirection down the line.
Stuck in the net. Oh, the hustle plays from Lindsay Sparks. Harward, though, is gonna make them pay.
USC able to get Lindsay Sparks out of system. This ball really tight to the net. Abby Van Winkle does all she can to save it. That pass is a little high by Haley Harward, but she's able to get a good hand contact, hit that ball into the wind.
Now you worry about the height on the pass in these conditions because the ball can sail away from you quickly.
There you see the lower offense from UCLA on the bad side, just going over the big block of Hallgren.
And UCLA runs a faster tempo offense, which might be better in this condition.
They do. Stein Metzger for the last couple of years has really encouraged this quick offense, opening things up in the side out and really putting a lot of stress on their opponent's defense. Haley Hallgren just splitting the middle. The blocker dove angle, and Lindsay Sparks was waiting in the line. This is a great angle. The blocker goes angle and then right between the line defender in the angle block.
Harward's there. She'll get the swing off the fingertips of Van Winkle.
Haley Harward's doing a really nice job staying disciplined in her approach. Not only is she running down balls defensively, but then transitioning those for kills.
She has a fantastic skill set for the beach.
She's so quick. She must jump 40 inches, if not close to that.
Yeah.
So when she digs the ball, she is going to go up high and terminate like that.
And she's got a heavy arm.
H-bombs, H squared. Haley Hallgren, Haley Harward off to a great start at the threes.
So they will take a seat. USC up at the threes. We want to remind you, too, for scores and updates, you can get this feed right now at ncaa.com. It is on the main page, so you can keep track of all the scores on every court. And, of course, every court streaming live on the ESPN app. Threes and fives, the only two pairs in action right now. Let's check in on Audrey Norse, Nicole Norse facing Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh. There's some history here. They met in the Pac-12 final. It came down to this court, and UCLA got it done.
Well-placed high line shot over Riley Powers. This team very familiar with one another. 8 days ago, they faced off, and UCLA was the victor.
What was the difference for UCLA in that one?
I thought USC just played tight, and UCLA was very confident. They were at home playing on Mapes Beach, where they're very comfortable, and they played that way. Jaden Whitmarsh has been so calm under pressure. I'm so impressed. This is her first year in the lineup as a starter, and she's been so good when it counts.
Let's go down to Christine, who's been watching the fives.
Yeah, it has been an absolute block party, specifically for Riley Powers. She had 3 blocks in a row. She has 5 blocks total, so they've been really doing a great job along the net.
And Christine, they've had to ask her to do more blocking. They had 3 blockers who did not return this season for various reasons, so she's had to step into that role. The swing from Audrey Norse.
Riley Powers, as a junior player, was a split blocker with Lexi Denneberg. So she played a lot of defense and now really getting good at the blocking skill.
The Norse Twins 27-3 on the season. They have the most wins by a USC pair all year. And it's going to be a net violation on USC.
That UCLA offense is so low that the USC defense is committing a little too early and showing what's open. They need to hide and disguise what they're showing defensively.
Nicole Norse attacking off of Riley Powers.
That ball blew wide, and Nicole Norse, the lefty of the two twins, had to use her right hand out of bounds.
So they will take a seat. We will step aside. National championship underway in Gulf Shores.
Jose Loyola from Brazil. What a grab by UCLA to get him as a volunteer assistant coach. He has made a huge difference. Every player on the UCLA roster has talked about the blocking impact he has made. Riley Powers, a converted blocker, is owning the net for UCLA. Look at that press. You see the fire. I mean, this is an area that UCLA never was that strong in, but now with Jose Loyola guiding them, they've made a huge impact.
It's been so impressive for Stein Metzger also just to go out and see an area they needed help with and go get somebody to help them in that area, and it's helped them get back to the national championship duel.
It certainly has. Another interesting fact is the Norse Twins for the last year have trained with Jose Loyola, so he is very familiar with their game, and he is on the UCLA bench.
Yeah, just joined the program back in January to work with UCLA, was training a bunch of different players. It's a small volleyball world. Comes Audrey Norse over that block of Riley Powers.
Great hustle by the Bruins, but USC taking care of business. Audrey Norse puts it away. That ball off Jaden Whitmarsh's chest, and then look at the one arm and the power to get that over the net.
Audrey Norse serving. Nicole Norse grabs the line.
Great defensive move by Nicole Norse. She drops into the cut shot, just good reaction, and then deep shot high over Whitmarsh.
Holly, I know you've trained the Norse Twins, and you've talked about how much they love to work and how hard workers they are.
They do. They work all during that shutdown. I mean, they had this goal. They wanted to come into USC and battle for an NCAA championship. That time, hands were not together and the ball was not driven, so that's a double contact UCLA ball.
And they had a 26-match win streak from March spanning to April. They played at the threes last year in the shortened season for USC. That shot wide from Audrey Norse.
Audrey Norse trying to attack into the wind, right idea, but Jaden Whitmarsh is there, and that ball sails wide.
So you see Whitmarsh calling out the blocking signals, Powers for Whitmarsh, who is serving. They saved it. Pokey gets the job done by Whitmarsh.
The block for UCLA affecting the Norse Twins of USC right now.
So they will switch sides at the fives. We're playing to 21. You have to win by 2.
Powers and Whitmarsh just continuing that momentum. They're on a roll, and Riley Powers, when she is blocking that many balls at the net, we know Whitmarsh is going to be in the backcourt touching everything defensively.
And three out of the last 4 duels for UCLA have come down to the fives. That won't be the case today, playing in flights, but that means Powers and Whitmarsh, they've proven they can handle the pressure. Whitmarsh.
UCLA so accustomed to that little low offense that in the wind they're not really effective. all the other schools that run that higher offense, trying to make that adjustment, they're not as comfortable.
And then there's a really tough serve from Whitmarsh.
Jaden Whitmarsh just hammered that through the block left-handed. She is feeling it.
At the threes, it's set point for Hallgren and Harward of USC. Lindsay Sparks grabs the corner. Fives on the left side of your screen. Roll shot from Nicole Norse will keep it going. Still set point at the threes on the right side. Oh, and a service error by UCLA gives the opening set at the threes to USC.
That's a big win for USC at the number 3 spot. Last time those two teams met, it went differently.
So we'll focus in on the fives. These are the only two pairs in action right now. When they're complete, we'll see the 1s, 2s, and 4s. Backside to Whitmarsh, right into the shoulder of Nicole Norse.
You see the aggression. I mean, there's no tentative part of Jaden Whitmarsh's game. She's feeling it. She comes in aggressive, power, and that ball hit high at Nicole Norse. She needs to overhand dig that ball. She's in a perfect spot.
And the set will go to UCLA.
The serve was the difference at the end, but it was Riley Powers blocking and Jaden Whitmarsh aggressive offense that was the difference.
We've got the threes and the fives in action right now. And at the threes, it was Haley Hallgren and Haley Harward taking that opening set. Harward looked pretty strong.
Haley Harward is known for her defense, but she was serving well. And we saw her dig and transition for lots of points. You hear the communication. Good set by Hallgren, and then boom for the USC point. This is a pair that struggled against UCLA. UCLA won the last matchup in the Pac-12 championships.
And they had struggled here, losing their last 2 matches, but they look different today, and that's a great thing for USC.
You've got a senior and a grad student for the Haleys.
Hallgren serving. Gets UCLA out of system. Hallgren, yes! Let's go down to Christine, who's been watching the threes.
You guys talked about how last time these two teams matched up, this USC pair was not able to get it done. Between the sets, they looked at each other and they said, we already knew we were capable of doing that. Keep doing what we do. And if they make adjustments, that's great. We'll make adjustments too.
Christine, they've got that experience being seniors and a grad student, like you said, Holly.
Yeah, I think that comes into play. And this is what they've played for all season long. They want to be in this moment and play their best volleyball.
Haley Hallgren has been here before. She was at the threes for the NCAAs in 2019.
A little delay in the swing of Lindsay Sparks catches Haley Harward kind of changing directions, able to get that ball down.
She makes some incredible plays. Steinmetzger calls her the magician.
Yeah, she changes the tempo, slows her arm down, speeds it up, all sorts of different things that can really challenge the defense.
And on the sand, you know, it's only you and your partner, so you've got to be able to change things up and keep the defense guessing, especially when you've played a team a couple times like they have USC.
This particular pair has only played USC once, but they have matched up against these players throughout their career in the summers on the beaches of California. Haley Hallgren out of Texas, but she spent some time growing up playing in tournaments against all of these players.
service error for Hallgren. So Abby Van Winkle will take her turn. UCLA must win this set to extend the match at the threes.
Abby Van Winkle doing a late drop into the angle, and Haley Harward being aggressive, attacking at her when her feet aren't under her. This is a very smart play. You see Abby Van Winkle on the move, hard to change directions and get this ball. Aggressive serve by Harward. She is feeling it, and really, this is the best I've seen her play in a long time.
She looks great. Just her second season on the beach at USC, had that shortened season last year.
There it is, you see the magic. Lindsay Sparks going with her left hand to control the ball with your left hand, to have it not go a different direction. Good control right over the block.
Lindsay Sparks, what a complete player. Offense, defense with a tough serve.
Can we talk about the angle of that serve?
Wow.
Lindsay Sparks is 5'8". She is being aggressive into the wind, but this is the hand contact. You see the spin on that ball, dropping that for the UCLA ace.
She'll follow it up with a service error. It gives the point back to USC.
Stein Metzger has been encouraging the UCLA tough serves. He wants them to go for it. He's okay with a couple misses.
Van Winkle's turn with Hallgren in her face, not a problem.
Pretty hand set, and you hear the set and the call. So important. Abby Van Winkle, you give her the right call, she's going to put it in the open sand.
Stein Metzger talks so much about TLC, turn, look, and call.
There's Jenny Johnson-Jordan, in my opinion, the backbone of this UCLA beach volleyball program. Stein Metzger says nothing but amazing things about her and what she's brought to this program. She's an NCAA champion indoors, she's an Olympian, and now as a coach for UCLA.
Was the AVCA National Assistant Coach of the Year in 2019 when UCLA won their second title.
Haley Hallgren, Haley Harward really looking confident. They're playing crisp volleyball, and that's important when you're facing a scrappy team like Van Winkle and Sparks.
USC's had a little bit more time to rest as they made their way to this championship duel through the winners portion of the bracket. UCLA had to play earlier today and were able to get past LMU.
That's all about the tough serve by Harward. The tough serve that drops, pops over on one, and then USC gets a free point in transition. You hear Haley Harward say, "You are so good at that," and she is.
You can tell the USC pair feeling it right now. Absolutely.
Everything going right for the USC pair at the 3 spot.
If Hallgren and Harward win this set, they will put a point on the board in the duel for USC. Service error.
Straight up defense. Abby Van Winkle's going to block line on both players.
And it comes down between her and the net.
It's important if you're the blocker that you're disciplined with your hand press over the net so that ball can't come down on your side of the net.
Again, Sparks and Van Winkle have not lost a match in this tournament. That's in danger right now. Great turn and save by Hallgren. Stuffed.
Haley Hallgren taking advantage of that tight ball and grabbing it to end that long rally. Transition set here. Blows towards Haley Hallgren. Strong hands. She makes no doubt about it. That's a USC point.
Hallgren comes from a beach family, or a volleyball family. Her mom, Wendy, played volleyball at Georgetown. She actually didn't want to play volleyball at first, but then once she did, never looked back.
Her younger sister, Harper, on the USC beach volleyball team.
Technical timeout here at the threes, so we go back to the fives, where Powers and Whitmarsh took the opening set. 21-13, but just a 2-point second set right here.
USC on the better side with the wind in their face.
So they can go aggressive on the serve and aggressive on their attacks. This will be Nicole Norse. Or Riley Powers can do that.
Riley Powers recognizes what the defense is doing. See an angle block, but she drops late, hoping to get a little shot into her lap, but that doesn't happen. Riley Powers goes deep cross court.
Nicole Norse.
The same exact play Nicole does right back at Riley Powers. She comes inside, Riley Powers steps inside, late drop into the angle, and then deep ball for the kill.
An ace for Audrey Norse.
Attack, ladies.
Aggressive from the service line. Technical timeout. Trojans trail by 1.
Courtney Lyle, Holly McPeak, and Christine Williamson with you for the championship. The 3s and 5s in action right now. 1s, 2s, and 4s will start about 12 minutes after they complete. It has been very close at the 5s after a dominating first set by UCLA, Powers, and Whitmarsh. Service error.
Anytime you can score 5 points off a block, your team's going to be at a huge advantage, and that was the case in the first set for UCLA.
The Norse twins have adjusted. Still going to 21 here in the second set. This is Riley Powers behind the service line. Audrey Norse. Oh, Whitmarsh, yes! Wow!
Defense by Jaden Whitmarsh. I like the adjustment by USC. They ran a quick little back set. That's the right idea, but you can't hit it right at Jaden Whitmarsh. She is going to dig that ball and then give you something special back. That's something Stein Metzger asked her to do. Be the most creative offensive player out there, and you see the topspin on that little drop shot.
I feel like every time we watch her, we see something new out of her bag of tricks. Dug it through the line, poked it to the back. Oh, but long.
Jaden Whitmarsh digging everything, missing on that transition, poking it a little bit long. But when your defense is touching everything, that is a good sign that you guys are using the right game plan and executing at a high level.
Audrey Norse, she will get the back line.
Big swing, and you heard during that rally, bring it down, because you want a lower set you so you can time it and it doesn't move on you.
Now you don't want the wind to carry it. It has been very windy all day. Since the first thing in the morning, the wind has been a factor. Jaden Whitmarsh with the left hand?
Left hand again. She's making good hand contact. I don't know if they teach that at UCLA, but we've seen her do it, and we've seen Lindsay Sparks as well.
Nicole Norse dug up again by Whitmarsh.
Great dig by Jaden Whitmarsh, but USC right now just attacking at her. Make her move, hit away from her. I like the aggressive swing, but if it hits Jaden Whitmarsh's platform, it's going to pop up, and then Riley Powers able to turn and poke it for a kill.
Audrey Norris, that went through the block of Powers.
Riley Powers just a little bit late on her press, and Audrey Norris powers it right through the wickets.
So side switch here.
Gustavo Rocha from Brazil as well, the assistant for USC, talking to Audrey and Nicole Norris on the side change.
And then you saw Stein Metzger there with the UCLA pair.
Stein Metzger yelling, no middle ace, take care of the middle.
They've given up one of those already. Not on that play. Powers, I mean, you've got to have so much confidence if you're Powers and Whitmarsh. They have clinched the last 2 duels for UCLA.
And the last time these pairs have faced off, the last 2, UCLA has come out on top. You see Jaden Whitmarsh's hands, they're saying serve and block line. Net violation, Riley Powers.
Point for USC. 2-point game, USC has to win this set. Raising the tape. Nicole Norris, there was a touch on it.
Riley Powers made a late block move, and now UCLA calling a timeout to slow things down.
So we're looking on the threes. Hallgren and Harward took the first set. Sparks and Van Winkle had not lost a set here in this tournament coming into the championship duel. Van Winkle, yes!
Abby Van Winkle playing some defense off the net. She loves to use the perimeter. At 6'2", you'd think she'd want to hit it straight down, but she uses the perimeter, and it makes it tough to defend.
Well, there's a service error. When we were over watching the fives, Haley Harward had a monster play we've got to show you.
Look at this pursuit ball. She does it better than anybody. And the elevation and attack, wow, she is on fire.
I mean, this H-bomb group, that's what they call them. They bring the heavy arm. They have been locked in since first serve.
Yeah, they came out ready to go. And like you said, a senior and a grad student. This could be one of the last chances they have to be on this stage. They want to make the best of it.
Well, they are 2 points away from putting a point on the board in the duel. Just long. They look relaxed.
They do. They look really relaxed.
Hard with the bump set to Hallgren. Out.
Haley Hallgren going so aggressive, trying to crush that line, just missing it long. But they're loose, they're smiling, they're staying together. Volunteer assistant coach Laura Weaver talking to them, keeping them relaxed. And there's Dane Bland, the head coach of USC.
Abby Van Winkle, hello at the net.
Net violation.
Oh.
This ball is blowing towards the net. Abby Van Winkle goes and throws it down. Not sure. I did not see a net on the first play. Ooh.
Oh, right there. Her wrist gets it. That's huge. It gives match point to USC. We'll play on.
Lindsay Sparks hammering it through the block of Hallgren, but USC has a chance to side out.
Lindsay Sparks' serve has been super tough today. They need it here. Haley Harward! USC's got a point on the board.
Pair 3 really stepped up. They came out and played their best volleyball of the season as a pair. Put the first point on the board here.
Lindsay Sparks and Abby Van Winkle, their first career loss as a pair. They were 10-0 before that, had not lost a set in this tournament. But the threes have finished. We're now watching the fives. UCLA can even up the duel with a win here in the second set.
Slow walk and talk with Gustavo Hocha, the assistant coach for USC, at the pair 5 spot.
Here's Riley Powers. Nicole Norse banks it off the block.
USC patient, covering the play, staying in it. When you play a team like Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh, you have to be ready for the ball coming back often.
Service error.
Ball dribbles on the USC side instead of over.
Jaden Whitmarsh with the serve. She won the match against LSU with her serve. That grazes off the block, and we're tied at 19. You have to win by 2.
UCLA has been going at Audrey Norse. This time they go at Nicole Norse, who goes high line over the block. Jaden Whitmarsh tries to get there, but can't.
Wide. It's going to be set point USC.
Nicole Norse started that rally with a block, and then Jaden Whitmarsh out of bounds.
USC trying to force a third set. Here comes Powers. Yeah, she got it.
Pretty set by Jaden Whitmarsh, pushing Riley Powers right up to the net. Riley Powers is unafraid. She comes in so aggressive, hitting this ball hard angle.
Nicole Norse. Oh, Jaden Whitmarsh, it does go out. Second set point for USC.
Jaden Whitmarsh touching everything defensively.
All weekend long.
And you got left. Yeah.
Evens it back up.
Jaden Whitmarsh in such a nice side out rhythm. She's moving it around the court, and she comes in hard. The key is her hard approach. You don't know whether she's going to shoot it or hit it. Comes in hard, good wrist away down that line.
So they switch sides, the walk and talk happening. Stein Metzger talking to his UCLA pair. USC has had 2 set points. It's long. It's going to be match point, UCLA.
That ball blew tight, high poke shot, flies long, and Jaden Whitmarsh gets another shot.
USC wants to take a timeout. They had 2 set points, and now it is match point, UCLA. This pair of Powers and Whitmarsh, they don't stop.
They're relentless. They really are. I mean, Riley Powers having a great blocking match, but Jaden Whitmarsh digging everything.
Well, Jaden Whitmarsh has been waiting for this moment and preparing to help out her team at the national championship.
I'm excited that it could come down to my court. I'm excited that all like the work that's been put up until nationals is going to be shown. All the adversity that's had to be overcome is just going to come down to who's most prepared, and I'm really excited to be able to have that opportunity to represent UCLA.
Well, UCLA has played 5 duels in this tournament, and it has come down to her court 3 times.
Yeah, and she's been prepared. I love it. I mean, just the confidence from Jaden Whitmarsh. Her father, a silver Olympic medalist in the 1996 Olympic Games in beach volleyball. Mike was a great competitor, and I feel like he's passed that on because Jaden is so calm under pressure.
It's been really fun to watch her play. But if you're USC right now, you've had 2 set points. How do you refocus here?
Well, it's one contact at a time. It's so important. You see Dane Blanton and Gustavo Hocha talking to the Norris twins. One contact at a time. USC's on the good side. They just need to execute, and they know how to do it.
So here we go, out of the timeout. A point for UCLA evens the duel. And it will be Jaden Whitmarsh continuing to serve. Nicole Norris, nobody on. Whitmarsh, oh, shoved back over by Nicole.
Nicole Norris with no block at the net usually puts that ball away, but Jaden Whitmarsh gets it. Fortunately for Nicole Norris, she gets a second chance and blocks that down for USC, tying it up.
Have to win by 2. Whitmarsh goes behind. Second match point, UCLA.
Jaden Whitmarsh staying aggressive, and Audrey Norris right there to dig that ball. You need to know that Jaden Whitmarsh is going to bring the heat when the game's on the line. Well executed side out there. You hear the high line called. Jaden Whitmarsh, the defender, runs to the high line. Nicole Norris hammers it angle.
On a service error will give a 3rd match point to UCLA.
Love the communication in the check-in by Whitmarsh and Powers, making sure they're on the same page.
They certainly know what pressure feels like. Audrey Norris.
There was a deflection off Riley Powers' block, so that ball had to go over the net. That's why Jaden Whitmarsh didn't go after it. But this game back and forth. USC on the better side. They want to try and score a point before they change back.
USC has had 2 set points, UCLA 3 match points. Powers slams it down. 4th match point, UCLA.
And the side change. Riley Powers, perfect pass, good apex set. Look at the aggressive approach. Riley Powers is coming in with an exclamation point attached to this hit.
Now it will be UCLA serving, and they had to ramp up that serve to seal the win against LSU. Anything different here you want to see?
No, I want to see the same thing. I think both teams need to put a little something extra on the serve. It's hard. I think as the game gets tighter, people get a little bit more tentative.
Chance to finish it. Call them clutch. The 5s of UCLA won't be stopped.
We've seen them do it under pressure time and time again, but Jaden Whitmarsh comes up with a huge dig in transition swing. Jose Loyola celebrating with his pair of fives. Look at this ball by Jaden Whitmarsh, excuse me. Wow. No question about it. Nobody up, downtown.
They have been so clutch and such a bright future ahead of them. Just redshirt freshmen. So this duel now even at 1 apiece.
And now it gets good. Flight 1, 2, and 4 coming up.
USC got the point at the threes. UCLA got the point at the fives. It was Hallgren and Harvard at the threes, putting a point on the board first for USC. And we will go down now to Christine, who's standing by with Haley Harward.
Haley, you guys were so relaxed, so incredibly hyped going into this match, and it ultimately gave you guys the win. What was the mindset going into this matchup?
You know, me and Haley have been the underdogs this whole tournament. That was our first win here in Gulf Shores, and we just knew, you know, it was bound to come eventually. I trust her so much as my partner, and she's a senior and she's graduating, and I just love her so much. So we just knew it was our last ride on the court, and we came in it hyped and we finished hyped.
And you were absolutely banging balls. It was crazy to see, incredible to see. What was it like for you out there? You just seemed like you were clicking.
It just all came together. I mean, I trust our training. We have an amazing coaching staff, and they believed in me. I believed in us. So it was a nice win, good conditions. It was just a great match.
Speaking of believing in you guys, I saw between the sets, you looked at each other and you said, this is what we were capable of. We already knew this. What was the difference in this match?
We were here before with this team in the Pac-12 championships. We won the first set and had a lead in the second and fell at Pac-12 championships. And so I said, you know, we've been here before, and now it's our time to take it. We didn't last time, but we're ready, and we're ready to take it this time.
So you guys have 2 more matches that you need to win in order to win the championship. Gonna cheer on your team, so good luck.
Thank you so much.
USC coming in with that killer mentality to get the job done, trying to get another national title. Countdown to the second flight is on. Under 11 minutes until the 1s, 2s, and 4s take the sand with a title up for grabs. Look, it's always fun to crown a champion. It's fun, too, when they're playing their rival. UCLA comes in as the back-to-back national champions. And right now, it's an even duel between them and USC. Only one can pick up their 3rd NCAA national championship. Countdown is on to our second flight. The 1s, 2s, and 4s will get started in under 8 minutes. We've already seen the 3s and 5s complete their matches. Courtney Lyle alongside Holly McPeak. And you kind of want this, right, if you're a fan, to see them split, and then it comes down to 1s, 2s, and 4s.
Well, this is expected. These are great rivals, great programs. I knew it was going to come down to this.
Yeah, it was impressive to watch the first 2 pairs go. And let's start off with the 3s, UCLA and USC. The Haleys getting it done.
Haley Hallgren and Haley Harward came out on a mission. This is the best I've seen them play. They knew they had something to prove. They had not got a victory for USC in this championship.
Well, they changed that in a big fashion. And then the 5s, Team Clutch, they call them, Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh.
I mean, I can't say enough about this team. They come in so aggressive, and they are fearless under pressure.
So now we will get to watch the 1s, 2s, and 4s compete. It's going to be very exciting. Stein Metzger comes in with 2 national championships as a head coach. For Dane Blanton, he's in his 2nd season as USC's head coach, looking for that first national title. A tough, heated rivalry, and it's coming head-to-head here at the Beach Volleyball National Championship duel. And of course, it's tied at 1 point apiece. We're about to see the 1s, 2s, and 4s take the sand after the 3s and 5s split. Christine Williamson on the sand for us, and both teams feeling the pressure.
Yeah, you talked about how this is a heated rivalry. These teams have battled a lot this season. Most recently, of course, at the Pac-12, where UCLA pulled it off. But Haley Hardward said that these are the perfect conditions for her team. They need to remind themselves what they're capable of. And on UCLA's side, Stein Metzger is telling his team how to take advantage of the elements, where to serve, and how to get some good blocks.
Yeah, these two teams know each other so well, and I guarantee you they haven't forgotten what happened at Pac-12s.
No, UCLA very confident, but this USC one pair is something special. Lexi Denneberg and Savvy Simo have their work cut out for them on the UCLA side.
You can see all three of these pairs streaming live on the ESPN app. We are going to watch the ones here, Megan Kraft and Tina Grodina. We will see Tina Grodina in the Olympics in Tokyo coming up later this year. They are 14-1 as a pair this season. They've won their last 7 matches.
Looks like UCLA won the good side.
Savvy Simo and Lexi Denneberg, they were the ones to clinch the win over LMU to send them to the championship duel earlier today. But now, as you said, Holly, they've got their work cut out for them because Kraft and Grodina have very little weaknesses.
Who to serve? Meg Kraft, Tina Grodina, both side out at a very high percentage. Both have size, both are quick. That's the challenge that Dane Blanton wants his opponents to deal with.
Championship duel between USC and UCLA, and it starts right now.
Savvy Simo with the first serve, and they will go at Megan Kraft. Simo off the block of Tina Grodina.
Simo dialed in for the over on 2 ball, good dig, and transitions off the block of Grodina for the point.
UCLA can expect to see Grodina and Meg Kraft up at the net. They've both played some defense and blocked this season.
Meg Kraft, just a freshman, but she is a special one. Dane Blanton talks about her playing at the next level, representing the U.S. internationally, and she's just a freshman.
Yeah, what is it about her skill set that's allowed her to compete so highly at the ones?
One, she wants to learn. She's already got a great skill set. She's got length at the net. She hits with range. She has quick feet. I mean, I can go on and on.
Yeah. And then you pair that with Tina Grodina, who is already an Olympian. She is going to represent Latvia in Tokyo. Grodina. Savvy Simo goes wide.
Great dig by Simo. She was ready for it. Platform out. She was not surprised. Went for it on her transition swing, just hitting it wide.
Simo and Denneberg went 0-2 in the Pac-12 tournament against this pair of Meg Kraft and Tina Grodina. Lexi Denneberg, how good was she earlier against LMU?
Fantastic. Her serve was incredible and just hitting spots that didn't even look possible.
Just a freshman, too. We talked about Meg Kraft, but Lexi Denneberg, a freshman playing with that older experienced player in Savvy Simo.
Yeah, that time Tina Grodina runs the back set, works with the wind, and instead of hitting right at Savvy Simo, she goes over the block of Denneberg.
Grodina has had to balance training with her Olympic partner and also training with USC, but has been able to do that. The coaching staff has been very flexible to make sure they don't burn her out, so she's at her best right now.
Denneberg hitting the roller that drops for UCLA. For Tina, this is a challenge. She gets to play defense. For Latvia, she's the full-time blocker, and she said that helped her in her last international event in Cancun just a few weeks ago. She said, defensively, I was much better than I've been.
Nothing like a national championship duel tune-up before you take on the Olympics. No touch on the ball, point UCLA.
Missed contact there, and Tina Grodina doesn't see a lot of serves.
if you serve at her, more than likely she is going to be the one attacking. And the serve goes long.
UCLA has the wind at their back, so they need to make sure they are tracking this ball off the hand of Tina Gradina.
USC on the good side with the wind in their face. Gradina gets it. Oh, but Denneberg playing a bigger role at the net.
Transition set too tight, goes over. Tina Gradina digs it, and then Kraft trying to put her partner to the net. Too tight, and Lexi Denneberg deep poke for the UCLA point.
The 2s and 4s also in action right now. You can pull up either one of those pairs on the ESPN app. Meg Kraft.
She hits with so much range. She can crush the ball straight down, but she can also hit those deep spots. This time she hits the seam between the blocker and the defender, that deep middle ball.
And a service error for Meg Kraft. We've talked about them splitting the block, and Meg Kraft actually played a little libero earlier on in her high school career, in her early volleyball career, so she had some of that skill set, but it's been great for both of these players to get even more well-rounded.
I think it's a challenge on the court, and for Tina Gradina, she was a heptathlete before she came to USC. She even met with the track coach at USC when she came on her recruiting trip, debating whether she wanted to be a 2-sport athlete at USC. So she's got the foot speed to be able to play defense at a very high level.
Yeah, Meg Kraft said the best part of playing defense is that they took the mentality that they're going to go for every ball. They're not going to freeze, and that's really helped them as you see Meg Kraft get the block.
Meg Kraft's strong left hand. She gets her feet in front of the hitter and presses that left hand back into the court to block Denneberg.
So they will switch sides every 7 points. They do that here. Dane Blanton talking to his duo.
I loved when we talked about with Tina and Meg about their defense. Tina, with her beautiful accent, says, "I like to be the second line of defense." She just said it so eloquently. She loves the challenge and is embracing this new role with Meg Kraft.
Yeah, she said it's a big responsibility, but you can make some awesome moves. There she goes with that dig. Kraft. Simo lays out for it. Tina Gradina did everything on that play.
She certainly did, and the tight transition set enables Tina Gradina to get that ball at the net. UCLA's on the better side. They want to push each other up to the net, but you've got to give your hitter room to hit around the block of Kraft and Gradina. Lexi Denneberg trying to guess where Meg Kraft is and hit a perfect cut shot. For me, Lexi Denneberg plays great when she's just aggressive, when she just goes up wanting to crush it. Then she can secondary make a choice to shoot it.
Is there an extra challenge when you're attacking against a different person blocking, like we've seen Gradina and now Meg Kraft up at the net?
Definitely. These blockers give you different looks. Tina Gradina has some crazy footwork that makes you think she's not there, and then all of a sudden she's there. Meg Kraft is long and makes big moves with her long arms. There you see her jump into the line. Lexi Denneberg ready for that one, goes high over the long arms of Kraft.
Yeah, great adjustment by Denneberg. Gradina, woo!
Meg Kraft with the call, high line. Tina Gradina says, hey, perfect set, partner, and she crushes it angle. The good back set here. Look, it has a nice apex, and when it does, Tina Gradina knows how to find that apex and crush it.
Tina Gradina has played at the ones her entire career at USC, had that great partnership with Abril Bustamante.
That ball hit out of bounds by Lexi Denneberg. Lexi as an attacker against Tina Gradina. Tina Gradina does some stuff. She shows something and then takes it away. So that makes Lexi Denneberg, the hitter, think about it a little bit more.
Here she goes against Gradina again.
Well-placed, high point of contact by Lexi Denneberg. Gets that ball to drop quickly. Look at this set, sweet by Savvy Simo, and then the spin on that ball, taking that ball away from the sprinting Meg Kraft.
This is the third time that Simo and Denneberg have faced this pair, so they've seen that block of Gradina, and there's a huge tough serve.
That's the ace down the line we saw earlier today from Lexi Denneberg to UCLA.
It is deadly, and it's a one-point game at the ones here in the national championship. The ones, twos, and fours battling now. We saw the threes and fives split earlier. So this duel is tied at 1 point apiece. Let's check in on the fours for the first time. Megan Murray, Jacqueline Quaid taking on Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple. And Jacqueline Quaid and Megan Murray, in their first set against LMU, they were very strong. There's Jacqueline Quaid on the swing and gets it to go off the block.
Jacqueline Quaid got an opportunity, and she is long at the net. Aggressive hit off the block of Joy Dennis.
This duo 23-8 as a pair this season. They're 21-5 at the fours, trailing by 4 points right now to Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple. And it doesn't go back over the net.
The head-to-head matchup for these two pairs, UCLA won one, USC won the other. So this is the rubber match.
USC has the benefit. They have one of their leaders on this court. Joy Dennis has really used her voice this season to lead this team and help them get back to Gulf Shores.
According to Dane Blanton, she has a different look in her eyes. She's so focused, and she knows that this young, talented team needs leadership.
That one drops in. She has accepted that role. These two named to the Pac-12 all-tournament team. And Joy Dennis told us, you know, each year I jokingly adopt 2 freshmen to help mentor, and Delaney Maple was one of those freshmen this year. Megan Murray.
Dane Blanton loves the partnership of the experienced player with the freshman. Megan Murray digging this ball and then high over the retreating blocker. That is a smart shot.
She does go down the line.
And they will switch sides. UCLA going to the good side, the wind at their face, but both pairs scoring from both sides.
You know, we were talking about Joy Dennis, Holly, and she recalled a time when she actually met Jenny Johnson-Jordan, who is one of UCLA's assistant coaches for the first time. She was 8 years old, met her at a tournament, and she was so kind to Joy. They had a great conversation, and Joy says she hopes she can be that person for another up-and-coming volleyball player like Jenny Johnson-Jordan was for her.
Jenny Johnson-Jordan is one of the class acts in beach volleyball. When Stein Metzger described her, he said, ultimate integrity. She is first class in everything she does.
And there's going to be a net call, so the point goes to UCLA. Wow, they've tied it up.
This USC lead has just disappeared, and if you're USC, you want to stop the momentum and call a timeout.
Delaney Maple. Ooh, even with Jacqueline Quaid in her face.
Delaney Maple just crushing that ball in transition. Looks like this ball's blowing tight to the net, but she turns it down the line. Megan Murray there, but can't control it.
Maple, the #2 recruit out of high school, has continued to learn every single duel. It is in!
every time UCLA's attacking Joy Dennis when she drops. If that's happening, they are having success with that near USC. Keep Joy Dennis at the net and let Delaney Maple run balls down behind.
Service error for Jacqueline Quaid. Again, playing to 21, you have to win by 2.
When it's this close, a little service pressure can open things up so you can score points more easily.
And they went after Dennis again as she was pulling off the net. They'll get a point.
That time she was able to get her platform on the ball. She just couldn't control it. The problem is she's backpedaling instead of opening up and getting her feet stopped to dig that ball.
Ties it at 17. Just wide. Oh, and Joy Dennis thinks it touched the line.
I thought they were saying there was a touch on the block, but I saw it wide.
Ooh, oh, that is so close.
He's gonna need to get down and check that ball mark.
Dennis is asking the up official to do that. She's looking at it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ball mark does not lie, and it looks like it got a piece.
So you can ask the up official. Obviously, they don't have to.
They don't have to agree to do it, but it's nice if they do because that mark was pretty obvious.
Oh, Megan Murray, hustle plays. Jacqueline Quaid said she did not touch it, and they are going to give that point to UCLA.
Oh, I thought it touched the block. All sorts of controversial plays at the end of this match.
I don't know if she swept her hands over and pushed to the left before the ball went by.
Good question.
She immediately came down saying she didn't touch it, but I doubt players rarely come down saying they did.
True. Jacqueline Quaid did reach in. I just didn't know if it got the side of her hand.
Joy Dennis. USC needed that point.
They certainly did. Now it's time for USC to play some defense, an aggressive serve and big block at the net. And Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple knows how to dig balls for points.
They've got to flush those 2 calls that went against them and get back on track here, running out of time. Joy Dennis in the net. Wow, it is going to be set point UCLA. They trailed big time in this set.
And that's why I think they missed an opportunity to call a timeout and stop the momentum of the Bruins.
Dennis right through the block. Still set point UCLA.
USC has not been able to score a point on the Bruins, a real point off their serve and a dig. They need to scheme a little and set UCLA up for a hit at their defense.
Quaid goes on 2. Maple. In.
Delaney Maple is fired up. She yells at her partner, come on, let's go. Tying it up on the good side. They have a chance to finish this set.
You have to win by 2. Murray. This will be 3rd set point UCLA.
I think that serve is too easy. UCLA in system, Megan Murray able to just work around the block.
Joy Dennis wanted that one.
Really nice first contact by Delaney Maple, and that allows Joy Dennis to go on 2. You can see the look in Joy Dennis' eye. Good connection there by she and Maple.
And we've got set point at the 1s. Tina Gradina And Meg Kraft leading Simo and Denneberg by 5. Tied up at the 4s on the left side of your screen. Maple serving. Here's Jacqueline Quaid. Point UCLA, it'll be their 4th set point. Look over at the ones, it is set point USC on the right side of your screen. Still set point for the Trojans. Left side of your screen, Jacqueline Quaid serving for the set for UCLA. Joy Dennis on the swing. Places it perfectly.
Really nice hand contact. USC fired up, but they need to be able to score a point. They scored 1 off the on-2 option by Quaid, but they need to earn a real point.
Tina Gradina closes it out at the 1s. They take the opening set 21-16. Focus on the 4s. Shot is in. 5th set point UCLA. UCLA, yes! First set to Murray and Quaid, and they had to battle for it.
They certainly did. They were patient defensively, and that was the difference. I feel like USC had some bad breaks, a couple of controversial calls, but UCLA stayed focused and were patient throughout that set.
The 2s still finishing up their first set. And that'll be a point for Julia Scholes and Sammy Slater of USC. Facing Leah Monkhouse and Devin Newberry.
Head-to-head, USC has the advantage, 2 wins to 1 loss.
And right over.
Monkhouse. They get the touch. It's set point USC.
Great dig on 2 options. Scholes going off the hands.
Julia Scholes on the serve, the Hawaii transfer. Service error ties it at 20.
UCLA will get an opportunity. Devin Newberry will serve and run to the net to block.
Monkhouse and Newberry beat this pair twice at Pac-12s. Oh, back-to-back service errors. They trade them.
Got it. Come on out. Thank you.
Second set point, USC. Monkhouse. Devin Newberry will take that ball and send it to the sand. We're tied at 21.
And you see both teams serving a little too tentative, in my opinion. But Devin Newberry gets an opportunity, and that big arm comes out for UCLA, and they'll switch sides.
UCLA has yet to have a set point here, but they will send Leah Monkhouse back to serve. USC has had 2 opportunities to close this opening frame. Sammy Slater. Monkhouse is stuffed by Julia Scholes.
What a dig by Leah Monkhouse. She comes in to just rip it. Julia Scholes has another answer right there. Huge block to save that point.
Third set point USC. Monkhouse down the line.
perfectly placed roll shot over the block. Leah Monkhouse just so calm under pressure. You're going to see a line block on both players according to that call. That ball just misses long.
All right, USC, fourth opportunity. This is their fourth set point. Monkhouse running behind, tips over the block. Crafty.
That's a play that UCLA is famous for. They run the back set. They look like they're going to hit into the angle, and they do the little short poke over the block. Stein Metzger did that every time in his pro career, and it worked.
And it worked right there for Leah Monkhouse. Net violation on USC.
Ball set tight to the net. Julia Scholes battling up there. Net violation. So you're trying to get her feet to this ball.
And her wrist hit it first. This is the first set point, UCLA. Service error.
UCLA has missed several serves at this point in the game.
Julia Scholes, my goodness.
Going for it from the bad side, hitting that cross-court ball. Fantastic hand contact for the ace.
Is fifth time the charm? Because this will be the fifth set point for USC.
Good toss by Julia Scholes, leads herself in that nice hand contact with topspin over the top of the ball. Now they're switching to the better side. She'll go to the corner nearest to us and most likely serve towards the water. Back-to-back aces by Julia Scholes to finish the first set at 2. Wow.
That is tough. Tough serving gets the job done. USC takes the opening set at the 2s, 26-24. We have seen the difference that tough serving makes. We have got the 1s, 2s, and 4s in action. This duel is tied at 1 apiece, and let's go back to the 1s. Meg Kraft and Tina Gradina, they were playing so well the last time we visited this court.
Savvy Simo digging some balls, but was unable to transition them for points early. Close in the second set.
Lexi Denenberg launches a serve. Great save by Simo. Gradina's turn.
What a dig by Simo. And Lexi Denenberg, if she could just get her feet around that ball to attack it after Simo's dig instead of the back bump over, Tina Gradina doesn't get a second opportunity.
Playing to 21 here in the second set as well. Denenberg goes opposite the defender down the line.
Tina touches it but can't slide under it and lift it. Good pursuit. Fantastic shot by Lexi Denenberg.
What's the biggest change in Denenberg you've seen as this season has gone on?
She just seems more comfortable in more situations, playing at this level against one of the best teams in the country and just making nice adjustments. And she seems very relaxed, and I think that's a tribute to Savvy Simo.
And they get past her block. Tina Gradina does to score a point for USC. tooling the block.
Tina Gradina jumps into that block, and Lexi Denneberg able to go off the hands, tooling her.
So we are at the technical timeout. 3 courts in action right now. USC got a point thanks to their threes. UCLA evened it up with a point at the 5s. 1, 2, and 4s in action. We will check in on the 4s here. Remember, Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple had a nice lead in the first set, but Murray and Quaid wouldn't go away.
Delaney Maple, good court vision, seeing the angle block, shooting high over when the defender's running line. This is a game of momentum. You need to be able to stop the momentum of your opponents, especially if they're creeping back in the set and you're in the lead.
Jacqueline Quaid flicking that wrist.
Love seeing Jacqueline Quaid making high point of contact, snapping down on this. Delaney Maple a little bit on her heels. She can slide under that ball.
Quaid, a 3-time All-American on the indoor side of Illinois. She was a 6 rotation outside hitter, made the 2018 national semifinals.
Delaney Maple calls high line, but Joy Dennis wants to crush it, and she does. Nice 5-point lead in the second set for USC.
Dennis has brought that fire and energy they needed here. They've got to win this second set. Right back over to UCLA. Murray to the corner.
Megan Murray, they call her the surgeon, at least Stein-Metzger does. She just operates. Slicing, dicing, putting the ball where you're not. Look at this hand contact. The spin on that ball is perfect.
Joy Dennis's turn. Right back in her face.
Jacqueline Quaid is long at the net, and if Joy Dennis is not aggressive, she's going to be able to swat balls and touch balls defensively.
Murray goes after Joy Dennis and gets an ace.
Right now, UCLA keeping the pressure on Joy Dennis.
Back to her. Handles that one much better. It was out, and Murray pulled up at just the last moment.
Delaney Maple switching sides to mix things up, give UCLA a different look.
In for Dennis.
You see the leadership of the experienced Delaney Maple talking to her partner. Good redirection and the sharp angle, just dropping right inside that line for USC.
They do not want to let this one slip away. USC had 5 set points in the first frame.
That ball drops on the USC side. That ball hit at Delaney Maple's face. She made a pretty decent overhand dig, but they couldn't control it and transition it for a point.
So technical timeout as UCLA has pulled within 1. We will go back to the ones. Just a 2-point second set UCLA has to win. Lexi Denneberg, the power.
Right now, it looks like UCLA playing Hawaiian style, which means you go straight across the court. So on the bad side, Savvy Simo plays the left. On the good side, she plays the right.
Gradina, and it started with that dig. She was able to get back and get a swing.
Really good dig, but Meg Kraft, full out sprint. Look at her take off and put that ball up and down. Perfect set on the run.
I mean, what a great example of the skill set of these two players for USC.
Incredible. I mean, when they play at their highest level, they are tough to stop. Meg Kraft played her junior volleyball with Delaney Maple, who's on the fours with Joy Dennis. They placed 5th in a pro event on the AVP Tour just 2 years ago.
Tells you what kind of talent they have coming into USC. It was out.
Meg Kraft, the block of Meg Kraft putting some pressure on Denneberg, because Denneberg trying to go aggressive in that angle, just missing it wide.
Discipline here, discipline. Let's go. Push. Good time.
Pokey. In.
That ball hits the back line. Tina Gradina was there, just was not sure if that ball was going to be in or not. Great play by Savvy Simo. Look at the placement right on the line.
Grabs just enough of it.
High line. Stay there. Easy.
Meg Kraft said no.
Savvy Simo so good at sneaking the little line pokey past the blocker, but Meg Kraft knows that's coming and shuts the door with her right hand. This is that UCLA play that I told you about, that little short line poke back to the line. Meg Kraft really disciplined with her hands as a blocker.
Service error for Kraft. Tina Gradina. I mean, she's so tough to defend.
Really well executed. She comes in hard approach and holds the defense in the angle and then takes it away down the line.
Here we go. You.
See Denneberg over the block of Kraft. Gradina lays out. Off the tape.
That is what makes Tina Gradina a special defender. I mean, she's just getting acclimated to this position, but look at the foot speed. She slides under that ball before it hits the sand, and then she's big enough to put that ball away, even though it catches tape. Able to score that USC point.
Also, they will take a timeout, a momentum play. USC 2 points away from another point in the duel. The duel is tied at 1 point apiece. 3 courts in action right now, the 1s, 2s, and 4s. We'll check in on the 2s, where Scholes and Slater won the first set thanks to some bombing serves from Julia Scholes.
Short serve goes wide by Leah Monkhouse.
This will be Sammy Slater stepping back. A win for USC here, and they win this match and a point at the 2s. Devin Newberry. Long. Let's go down to Christine, who's been watching the 2s.
Yeah, they've had a little communication issues on UCLA's side on defense. We had a couple of balls drop between them. Monkhouse looked at Newberry and said, hey, keep yelling at me on defense. It's nonchalant and it's making me hesitant. So they're going to try to work on those drop balls and also on those errors on offense so they can try to clean this one up.
Communication so key. And Sammy Slater just swung at that.
Good patient set by Julia Scholes, and then Sammy Slater gets up and crushes that with no block in front of her for USC.
There's some communication issues on the UCLA side. What an opportunity here for USC. Go with that tough serve. Monkhouse. Angle shot.
Yeah, really nice, sharp cross-court angle shot. Leah Monkhouse can put the ball wherever she wants. That communication is everything, especially when you're trying to communicate what you want to do defensively to score points on Scholes and Slater.
It's getting close at the ones right now. Lexi Dinneberg tacks on another one for UCLA. Choose on the left side of your screen.
Julia Scholes getting her feet to the ball on the left side of your screen to go up 14-7 against UCLA.
Technical timeout on the left side. We'll check in at the ones. Playing to 21. Meg Kraft.
Taking it to match point on the #1 pair court.
And it will be Meg Kraft serving. This would give USC a lead in the duel. Dinneberg keeps it going, still match point USC.
Sharp angle by Dinneberg. USC just has to side out to finish this match.
And a service error will give it to them. USC, they are up in this duel 2-1.
Good performance, Kraft and Gradina, so steady, put a lot of pressure on Simo and Dinneberg to get that other point on the board for USC, 2-1.
USC has gotten points from their ones and their threes. UCLA won at the fives. It's getting close at the fours.
This is where Dennis and Maple had a big lead and let it slip away. They need to make sure not to let that happen in this second must-win set.
Yeah, USC trying to force a third set at the fours. Jacqueline Quaid serving. Cuts it.
Well-disguised shot by Delaney Maple. She comes in, looks like she's going to go line, and then just shoots it over the block of Quaid.
Set point USC with Joy Dennis back. Quaid takes it. Joy Dennis, she loved every minute of that. Second set goes to USC. We will have a third at the fours.
Love the fire by Joy Dennis, making sure they finish it this time. Look at the power and the angle of this hammer.
We are keeping a close eye, Holly, though, on the twos, because if USC wins this set, they win the national championship. Service error.
USC at the beginning of the season, everybody thought they were the team to beat, and then UCLA came on strong at the end of the Pac-12 championships.
Now, this USC team has been ranked #1 in the nation. UCLA beat them twice in the same day to win the Pac-12 championship 8 days ago. But revenge would be even sweeter with a natty on the line.
Sammy Slater has been here before.
She was at the twos facing UCLA in 2019 in the championship. And there she gets a point.
Lucky break for her because Devin Newberry made a great decision. Her legs just gave out on her and she was unable to respond and dig that ball.
Remember, Julia Scholes is stepping back now. She crushed her serve to give the first set to USC.
And right, no one.
Big side out there by Devin Newberry. Starts with the pass, runs that back set. The set was kind of off the net. Not an easy ball to put away, but good arm swing, finishing that ball deep middle out of reach.
Slater behind. Blocked by Newberry.
You heard the line over call, but Sammy Slater wanted to hit it. And Devin Newberry, a very effective blocker, especially with all the work with Jose Loyola. She is confident at the net.
Yeah, that has been a major improvement in her game. We're in the side switch right now. A win for USC. They win the duel.
Love the intensity, the look on the face of Devin Newberry, the communication between she and Leah Monkhouse.
Newberry attacking. A block, an attack. Devin Newberry.
Sammy Slater getting a little tentative in her side-out game. Devin Newberry's doing a late block. She's had open net and just shooting it. When Devin Newberry digs the ball, she is going to put it away.
Oh, it traveled way far. Sammy Slater is so good.
Well, I like the talk by Julia Scholl. She was saying, swing, make sure you swing at this ball. As a left-handed player, you really have to work to get your feet around that ball in the hand contact. Wow, that is an impossible angle. Leah Monkhouse in the area.
Monkhouse gets a touch off Slater.
Slater trying to turn and touch and dig that ball, just can't control it. Julia Scholes, a grad student. Sammy Slater, a senior.
Service error. USC getting closer and closer to that 4th overall national championship, their 3rd NCAA title.
Julia Scholl's serve has been the difference at this #2 pair spot. Bombing, that's her 3rd ace, and she's also been able to get them out of system.
Newberry off the block.
Devin Newberry brings the heat, number 13 in white. She's got such a heavy arm. Julia Scholl's there to block and still can't slow it down.
Slater with the blocker retreating.
That's the play that she was shooting earlier in the match, but Julia Scholl's telling Sammy Slater, nobody. She hits it down the middle.
The biggest point of them all, championship point. It comes at the 2s. They will switch sides here. A quick walk and talk for the coaches. Sammy Slater back serving.
The long sprint for Joy Dennis and Delaney Maple.
Your national champions, the USC Trojans.
How about Julia Scholes from the service line?
A first national title for Dane Blanton as a head coach. USC with their 3rd NCAA championship. They were so tough today.
They really came out strong in matchups that they had not previously won. They came out and took care of business, starting with Haley Hallgren and Haley Harward, really setting the scene for these pairs to finish in the 2nd flight.
Tina Gradina, Meg Kraft will get that championship. Man, it came down to the twos. Julia Scholes, Sammy Slater. You can't say enough about those two. They held it together and were great in the biggest moment of their careers.
They certainly were.
For UCLA, what a run. They came in as the top seed, the defending two-time national champion. A lot of talent returning, though, for Steinmetzger.
UCLA is very young, and boy, did they put up a good fight. Jaden Whitmarsh, Riley Powers, very impressive. Lexi Denneberg. But Savvy Sima, wow, she will leave a mark, and she set a great example of how to be a leader for this UCLA program.
An amazing leader. But it's USC's day. A third NCAA title.
Dane Blanton talked about the power and the physicality of his team, and it paid off. Jump float serve from Sammy Slater. Looks like it's going to go. It has weird float spin on it. That's not normal, but it just drops and hits the line.
And what do you know, Holly? It came down to tough serving.
Serving's always the difference, especially in windy conditions. And Julia Scholes, she really held it down at the twos.
And how exciting for Dane Blanton in his second season to take this program and put it back on top. Anna Collier set the standard, and they've continued it.
We talked to him earlier. He was so relaxed and just believed in the physicality of his team and that they had come together at the right part of the season. He knew that they could do it.
Reminder, you can see the championship trophy ceremony coming up on the ESPN app. We are not done from the beach. USC, they are your national champions. They own the beach. We talk about serving. Well, it just won USC a national championship. Sammy Slater with the ace to seal it, and the Trojans are back on top of the beach volleyball world with their third NCAA championship. Christine has Joy Dennis waiting.
Yes, I do. And Joy, you didn't get to watch them compete, but Sammy Slater and Julia Scholes pulled this one out for you. How impressed are you with their play?
I've seen them play in practice, and we are a team that trusts one another. I didn't have to look at the scoreboard once. I knew that the entire team had my back throughout, and I was just going to keep my head down and focus on my court.
Joy, not to call you old, but you were a freshman the last time USC won a national championship. How happy are you that you were able to pull this one out again? Get another one.
I'm so happy. I kept making jokes like I'm not leaving with that one because I am a COVID fifth year, so I had to come back and get one last run.
You're like the mom. I think Dane Blanton described you as the motherly figure on this team. How have you guided your team through this championship?
I think one thing that I've used is my experience. I've been here 4 times now, and I've gotten kind of used to the environment, the cameras, the crowds. It's a lot different than playing at home, and especially playing in a pandemic. So just using my experience and just reminding everyone it's going to be okay. Just take a deep breath and play your game the same way we would do at Merle Norman Stadium.
And Coach said you guys were peaking at the right time. Obviously, you weren't able to take UCLA down in the Pac-12s, but you were able to do it here today. What was the mindset going into this championship?
I think our mindset was lose the battle, win the war. This is the one that matters to us the most, and we ended up pulling it out.
Beautiful. Congratulations, Joy.
Thank you.
Awesome. Joy Dennis and USC pulling it out. And Dane Blanton came over and talked to us before this duel about this team having a killer instinct, that killer mentality. They came out tough today.
You're right, and that's exactly what Joy Dennis said. They lost the Pac-12 championship, but this is the one that they wanted to peak for. And they came out with killer instinct. After a nice long rest, winning the winner's bracket, they came out on fire, ready to achieve their goal.
And Dane Blanton is now with Christine.
Dane, congratulations, your first championship as a head coach. This is your second season with this team. How happy are you to pull this one off?
You know, words can't describe it. But this was such a team effort. I mean, I have an amazing coaching staff and amazing support staff, and the players, this was them. I just tried to orchestrate it, get them in line, and this is just unbelievable. I'm overwhelmed with emotion, and we worked really hard.
You did work really hard, Coach, and your Chews were able to pull this one off for you guys and clinch the win. Sammy Slater and Julia Scholes, you talked about how Julia is a gym rat. Sammy has been doing it all for you guys. How impressed are you with their play?
Oh, they're awesome. You know, I've seen Sammy here so many years, and so she has so much experience. And Julia, yeah, she's the first one to practice, and she's always afterwards saying, you know, I need to get more reps. What a dream for a coach. And they did their job. I had thought they lost the first one, and then we had to go 3. That's how kind of locked in you are on each court. But wow, you know, you go down the line, everybody contributed, and that's the only way we pull this off, because UCLA is always such a great team. They're coached by Stein, and he's amazing. We've been competing forever. You know, we were on the same Olympic team back in 2004, and so hats off to them. They had a great season, but really can't say enough about my team, and that's the support staff and the team.
So we just talked to Joy Dennis. I saw after the duel was over, you were saying, rookie, you were a rookie the last time we were here. So how happy are you that your team was able to give her one last one?
Well, she has bookends, right? She won their first year and now her last year. But you know, a goal for any coach is you want to graduate them so they go represent, and you want them to hopefully have a ring on their finger, and we were able to do that.
Beautiful. Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks.
An impressive performance, a duel to remember. USC wins a national championship. Trophy presentation moments away from Gulf Shores. It's going to the Trojans. USC takes down UCLA. They are your 2021 national champions on the beach. They take it 3-1 here in our championship duel. What an amazing duel it was. And here we go now to the championship trophy ceremony.
Fans, your attention please. It's our pleasure to begin the award ceremony for the 2021 NCAA National Collegiate Beach Volleyball Championship. First, let's congratulate both teams on their outstanding achievements and thank our host, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, the City of Gulf Shores, and the Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Sports Commission for their partnership, commitment, and success in hosting this national championship. Presenting the awards is the NCAA Beach Volleyball Committee Chair, Kelsey Roziers. And now, the 2021 NCAA National Collegiate Beach Volleyball All-Tournament Team. At the fives pair, from UCLA, number 4, freshman Riley Powers. Number 10, redshirt freshman Jaden Whitmarsh. At the fours pair, from LMU, number 12, freshman Jacinda Ramirez. And number 13, graduate student Darby Dunn. At the threes pair, from Florida State, number 21, senior Molly McBain. And number 35, graduate student Peyton Caffrey. At the twos pair, from USC, number 4, senior Sammy Slater. And number 25, graduate student Julia Scholes. And at the ones pair, from USC, number 14, junior Tina Raudina. And number 22, freshman Megan Kraft. Fans, let's hear it for your 2021 All-Tournament team. And now, the 2021 NCAA National Collegiate Beach Volleyball National Champion, finishing with a record of 30-4, the USC Women of Troy. Congratulations to the USC Women of Troy, your 2021 NCAA National Collegiate Beach Volleyball National Champions. Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the net cutting ceremony.
They have raised the trophy, and it is official. USC, your 2021 NCAA Beach Volleyball Champions, their third NCAA title. And they got it done with grit and determination, coming to Gulf Shores after losing in the Pac-12 championship to UCLA.
They really responded, and according to Dane Bland, he said they found their killer instinct. They've come together, and it paid off today.
A job well done. A championship team right there here on the sand in Gulf Shores. USC, the national champions. Scissors have been distributed. It's net cutting time for USC as they are your national champions. What a ride it has been. They have been ranked #1 this season. They come into this tournament as the #2 seed, and they get the job done, earning their third NCAA national championship.
I love the tradition of cutting the net, a souvenir for all these players who work so hard to achieve their goals.
Most impressed about what, Holly, with this USC team?
Well, how they responded after losing 2 straight to UCLA last week, just 8 days ago, to respond and be able to win when it all counted.
Yeah, they never lost a duel here in Gulf Shores, made their way all the way through the winner's bracket, whereas UCLA had to come out of the elimination bracket to even get to the championship duel. We did get that rematch of the 2019 national championship, but this time a different outcome with USC on top.
USC came out aggressive, and at the threes, I think the threes really set the tone. Haley Hallgren, Haley Harward, they had been losing this entire tournament and came out with the win, playing fantastic volleyball.
Yeah, they looked like a totally different team, and no bigger duel than this one to pick up that first match win and really set the tone. Remember, the 3s and the 5s went first.
That was such a big win, and then leading into Tina Gradina and Meg Kraft dominating on one. It was just going to take one other team to step up.
They clinched it at the 2s, and now you know the tradition if you've been with us before. The championship team runs and jumps in the ocean. Never been happier to jump in water before than in this moment as national champs.
What a great moment. USC has been waiting a long time to get in that ocean.
They've had experienced players coming back and lead them, an experienced head coach, even though just in his 2nd season, Dane Blanton brought so much to this USC team. He's been with them before when they won as an assistant coach, but it's different when you're the head coach.
Oh, it certainly is, and he was very happy with the fact that he brought them out a day earlier than most of the other teams to just get acclimated to the sand, the wind, and even this time zone. Those are all factors that can help you perform at a higher rate.
And the wind was definitely a factor today. They looked very comfortable.
Oh, definitely. They managed the wind. I thought it was a little high to start, but they were able to take care of business, especially from the service line.
It came down to the 2s. It came down to a serve from Sammy Slater. She got it on an ace, clinched the championship. But Julia Scholes had great serving all tournament too.
She was bombing her jump serve into the wind, and she was the one who had their opponents on the ropes. Sammy Slater served a ball that was supposed to float, had funny spin and moved differently than any other serve, but it was meant to drop in for USC.
We've seen some amazing storylines in this tournament. LMU made an incredible run in their very first championship appearance, but it came down to 2 West Coast teams once again, UCLA and USC.